Hello, good evening, everybody. How are we doing? John here, and I am coming to you live tonight to talk about something that maybe you have thought about, maybe you haven't. So, for this live video, I'm just going to be cutting to the chase. I'm not really going to be waiting for any of you to be coming on, plain and simple, because I know you all are busy and you all have things to do. So watch this at your convenience. So if you've seen the title of this live video, the title is your health is a motion picture. So what do I mean by that? Plain and simple. I want you be to be and to, if you're not, to get into the mindset of that our health, our life, anything is a continuum. It's not a snapshot. Okay, so what I mean by that is right now we have a lot of things happening. We have crazy amounts of stuff going on in the world. Don't want to get into that. And we have new experiences, new challenges, everything going on at our house, with our work. Maybe our work is coming to our house, and we still have to, take care of the families, take care of ourselves. So there's a lot of things happening, a lot of snapshots. But we can get out of that snapshot mentality and we can go into more of a continuum mentality. And the reason you want to go more into a continuum motion picture like mentality is one, you'll be able to consistently move forward with less effort, less anxiety, and ultimately more success down the road. Now, if you keep thinking of things as snapshots, those are basically very quick, very um, very quick. They don't really bring a whole lot to the table, and they don't really propel you forward like you want. You'll think that they are going to be moving you forward, maybe based off numerous things, but in the reality of it all is we are constantly being stopped, making us think, maybe making us react in a negative way, making us pause completely. So that's what the snapshots are. They will tell us where we're at right now, and that's where we kind of get stopped because we'll go into more of an emotional reaction with snapshots. But it doesn't. The snapshot's never going to tell us where we're going. So that's where the continuum comes in. If you are consistently focusing on very basic health principles, so the main focus of this live video is for you to think about how you can consistently keep your health rolling on a continuum with less effort, less anxiety, and a big return down the road, because we will see through this. So things that are basic, they are the fundamentals of health that I want you to be thinking about. And I always say these on a day-to-day thing, but it's always good to be reminded. And those are, and you can take a pen and paper, you can write them down if you haven't thought of these before. It's to consistently walk. It's to consistently measure in some capacity what you are consuming. And that could be nutrition. That could also be what you're consuming in your head. How many times you are physically exerting yourself. And the other thing would be sleep. How are you controlling your sleep? Now, those are, if you look up how to improve your sleep, it's always going to say you should be consistently sleeping 7, 8+ hours every day. If you want to see something that is going to, if you look up something that says this will improve your cardiac health, this will improve your aerobic capacity, it's going to be saying you should be walking every day. If you look up something that says the best way to get stronger, it's going to say consistently train your body with resistance. So either with your body weight or with an external weight. So we're all at home, so we mostly have our body weight, bands, dumbbells, maybe a kettlebell, maybe a barbell. Just kind of depends on what your layout is. And it's always going to say you should be doing it every day. You should be doing consistently every day. And that's the continuum. So we have to start focusing on, okay, how can I start this continuum that John's talking about? And really, it could just be as simple as starting with just one thing. So right now, it could be starting with your sleep or starting with a daily walk every day. If you do that every single day, if you're consistently getting your 7+ hours of sleep every day, if you are consistently getting your, minimum 10 minutes of walking done every day, and you do that in a continuum, you're not letting anything stop you, down the road, you will see a significant increase in your health. Okay, same with if you consistently do a resistance type training, multiple times throughout the week. How many days of the week? It depends. Everybody's going to say different things. Really, it goes back to what can you do on a continuum? How many days of the week can you set aside 30 minutes to 60 minutes of resistance training? Is it 2? Is it 3? It doesn't matter how many times it is for that week. All that matters is that you are doing those same number of sessions every week consistently without stopping for this continuum to keep going. Now back to the snapshots. Things are going to happen. Kids are going to want something. Jobs are going to want something. Life's going to want something. And that is where we have to understand where we are at right now and how can we organize this to where we can keep the continuum going. That's where I'm saying you want to start with something, maybe just one thing, and then add another. It's never the best interest of you and your health if you try to combine 10 different things at once. Okay. So, because nothing's ever going to happen in a straight line. Our progress is always going to be up here. And maybe for a while, we were maybe just baseline with everything, and we're, getting used to everything going on right now with the current events. So maybe we haven't been doing anything. Maybe we haven't really been thinking about our sleep or thinking about what to eat or thinking about a 30-minute workout. Maybe we just been focusing on trying to keep everything together, our jobs and our families. And that's perfectly fine. Kudos to you. I totally respect that. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But to keep ourselves going, keep the families going, keep our jobs going, and keep our performance for everything, we do have to take a small amount of time for ourselves. If we are not building ourselves up, then nothing is going to be built up because we don't have the strength, the capacity, and the endurance to build something up. Okay, if we are going to be consistently at baseline, everything else is going to stay at baseline. If we are not heating up, nothing else is going to heat up. If we are not consistently putting, seeds in the ground, nothing's going to grow. So when you are ready to start doing something, when you are ready to start thinking about your health, Now, you have to start being real with yourself. You have to be understanding of what are your obligations, what can you do, and then you have to understand what can you do once this is all done. Okay, so how many hours do you have? How many minutes do you have? Might be coming down to the minute for a lot of us. So I want you to think about that. So it's okay to pause and reflect and think about, okay, how can we improve our health during this time? Nobody really has an answer. I'll be straight up. Every health professional is going to be going live. Everybody's going to be doing crazy YouTube videos and say, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. But really, they don't have an answer. I don't really have an answer. I'm trying to figure this out every day of the week since, we've had to, close down the gym. We just don't know. We don't know how long this is going to be. And things are constantly changing. And, so besides that point, we have to just be real. What's going on? What can we consistently do? How can we keep a health continuum going? Okay. How can we keep ourselves from stopping, focusing on just a little snapshot that really doesn't mean anything? Like, if you really want to know what a snapshot is, it's when you come to something, an event, maybe a picture, maybe an article, whatever, and it just stops you dead in your tracks and you just don't move, you don't think. Maybe you get angry, maybe you get frustrated and you don't do anything. That's what a snapshot is. It keeps you from doing something, it keeps you from moving forward. So that's what I'm saying. I want you to focus on the basic principles of health: walking, eating right, getting your sleep, doing some type of resistance training. It doesn't have to be all at once. Like I said, you could start with your sleep, you could start with your walks. Maybe it's just one resistance training session a week. Maybe it's 3 walks of the week. Maybe it's just sitting down and maybe it's just sitting down and not thinking. Maybe it's just sitting down and closing our eyes and just breathing for once out of the day, because everything is so crazy. Okay, so I want you to understand that to get into a continuum, you have to understand where you're currently at right now, and don't try to go all in at once. Okay, so even though you put hot water on the stove, it doesn't boil right away. It takes a little bit of time for the water to boil. Okay, so don't expect yourself to boil right away. I don't know, but I just want you guys to understand that taking your time with this, with the current events and your health, it can be improved. Just take your time and find what ways that you can get yourself into a continuum and stay in that continuum for the remaining days. And this is, when I say remaining days, I'm saying remaining days, way past this. Okay. So to where this is a mere afterthought. And if you do that, and if you need support, you have me. I'm always available to help you in any way I can. So whether that's a phone call, whether that's just sending me a private message and saying, hey, I need help with this, I will reply back and I will help you in any way I can. Because the continuum is going to keep us going. If we are continually supporting ourselves, then things are going to stay going and thrive through this. Same with our health. If we continually, do the right things, focus on the basic principles of health and fitness, walking, eating right, sleeping, drinking water, doing some form of resistance training, and we do it in a fashion that is able to be continued through the day, through all these days, and you're not stopping and you're not going backwards, even if it's not as intense as maybe what you were doing when you were in a gym, you will see that your continued efforts are going to be paying off 10 times more than just doing something really intense, burning yourself out, maybe risking injury, and then not doing anything for a long time, and then trying to get back into it again. So those are my ramblings for tonight. Hopefully you take something from it. Hopefully it helps you, and hopefully it motivates you to think about and take action on what you can turn into a continuum. That's it tonight, folks. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I thank you all for your support. And if you guys need anything at all, like I said, feel free to reach out, text, email, messenger, carrier pigeon. It doesn't matter. If I get the message, I will help you out in any way I can. And until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.